Welcome to Echoes of History. Today we journey back in time to explore a powerful and deeply moving story, the birth of Pakistan. It's a tale woven from threads of faith, relentless struggle, immense sacrifice, and a visionary dream that captured the hearts of millions. So let's travel back to the early 20th century, to a time when the idea of Pakistan was a fragile yet fiercely held hope. Before 1947, the vast Indian subcontinent was under the control of the British Empire, a rule that had lasted for nearly 2 centuries. For the Muslim population, who had once been the rulers of this land, the period was marked by a steady decline in political influence and significant social and economic challenges. They found themselves marginalized, facing discrimination that threatened their very identity. As the Indian National Congress, largely representing Hindu interests, intensified its campaign for independence from British rule, a growing sense of unease settled among the Muslim community. They feared that in a unified, independent India, their distinct culture, religious freedoms, and fundamental rights would be swallowed up and ultimately lost forever. This anxiety wasn't just a fleeting concern, it was a profound fear for their future and the future of their children. It was in this climate of uncertainty that a new vision began to take shape. In 1930, the renowned poet-philosopher Allama Muhammad Iqbal articulated a groundbreaking idea. During his presidential address at the All India Muslim League session in Allahabad, he envisioned a separate, self-governing state for the Muslims of northwestern India. He argued that for Muslims to fully realize their cultural and spiritual potential, they needed a homeland where they could live according to the principles of Islam, ensuring freedom, equality, and justice for all. This was more than just a political proposal, it was a philosophical foundation for a new nation. This powerful vision, initially a dream, was soon transformed into a formidable political movement. The man who would lead this charge was Muhammad Ali Jinnah, a brilliant lawyer and strategist who would later be revered as the Quaid-e-Azam, or the Great Leader. Jinnah, with his unwavering determination and political acumen, took Iqbal's idea and molded it into a clear, tangible goal. He rallied the Muslim masses, uniting them under a single banner and giving voice to their aspirations. The dream of a separate homeland was no longer a distant whisper. It was becoming a resonant call to action. The political demand for Pakistan wasn't born overnight. It was built upon a core ideological principle known as the two-nation theory. This theory asserted that Hindus and Muslims were not just two different religious communities living side by side, but two distinct nations. They had different religions, different cultures, different social customs, and different historical backgrounds. Their ways of life were fundamentally separate, and to force them into a single political entity would, in this view, inevitably lead to conflict and the suppression of the Muslim minority. The two-nation theory provided the intellectual and moral justification for the creation of a separate state. The defining moment that solidified this demand came in 1940. At a historic session of the All India Muslim League in Lahore, a resolution was passed that would change the course of history. Known as the Lahore Resolution, and later the Pakistan Resolution, it formally demanded the creation of independent states for Muslims in the northwestern and eastern zones of British India, where they formed the majority. This resolution was the political turning point. From that day forward, the goal was clear. Across the subcontinent, a powerful slogan began to resonate in every town, village, and city. Pakistan ka matlab kya? La ilaha illallah, which translates to, what is the meaning of Pakistan? There is no God but Allah. This chant encapsulated the spiritual and political essence of the movement, linking the struggle for a homeland directly to the core tenets of their faith. But the path to freedom was far from easy. It was paved with immense hardship and heartbreaking sacrifice. The struggle for Pakistan was a long and arduous one, marked by political resistance, civil disobedience, and intense negotiations. Under British rule, and in the face of opposition, Muslims faced countless challenges. Many leaders and activists were imprisoned for their political beliefs. The general population endured economic hardship and, at times, brutal crackdowns. The dream of Pakistan demanded a heavy price, and the people were willing to pay it. The climax of this struggle arrived with the Partition of 1947, one of the largest and most tragic migrations in human history. As the British prepared to leave, the subcontinent was divided into two independent nations, India and Pakistan. For millions, this meant leaving behind their ancestral homes, their lands, and everything they had ever known. With hope for a new beginning in their hearts, but profound pain in their eyes, they embarked on perilous journeys to their new homeland. Trains packed with refugees crossed the newly drawn borders. Some trains arrived carrying survivors, full of stories of hope and resilience. Tragically, many others arrived as silent witnesses to the violence that had erupted, carrying those who had become martyrs for the cause. People sacrificed their homes, their wealth, and for many, their very lives. They gave up everything for one singular, cherished dream, Pakistan. Finally, on the 14th of August 1947, after years of relentless struggle and immeasurable sacrifice, that dream became a reality. Pakistan emerged on the world map as a new independent nation. As the green and white flag, with its crescent and star, was raised for the first time, it symbolized a new dawn. The green represented the Muslim majority and prosperity, the white represented the minorities and peace, and the crescent and star symbolized progress and light. For those who had lived through the struggle and witnessed this historic moment, tears of joy and relief streamed down their faces. A nation of hope, born from unwavering faith and endless sacrifice, had finally been established. It is crucial to remember that Pakistan was created for a purpose that transcended mere territory. It wasn't just about acquiring a piece of land, it was about securing a sanctuary for freedom of faith, a society built on the principles of justice, and a home where every citizen could live with dignity. This was the vision of its founders, the promise that fueled the movement. Today, as citizens of Pakistan and as students of history, it is our collective duty to protect, preserve, and strengthen that foundational dream. The dream that our ancestors lived, fought, and died for. Let us take a moment to remember their struggles, to honor their incredible sacrifices, and to commit ourselves to keeping the true spirit of Pakistan, the spirit of unity, faith, and discipline, alive for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on Echoes of History. If you believe in the power of stories that shape our world, stories of freedom and sacrifice, please don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history. We'll see you next time.